Now, the option is given as 2, but listen carefully. So what do you do here? Try to eliminate this negative 9x by adding it plus 9x to each side. I know most of you know how to do this by now, okay? But just to refresh your memory. So negative 9x and plus 9x, they cancel, and you get only 21 in the first side. So you get 21 equals, and then you add 2x and 9x. 2x plus 9x equals 11x. And you have this minus 1. Don't forget it, minus 1. Now, we add 1 to each side. 21 plus 1 equals 22. And this is equals 11x. So what's the next operation? Who knows?
Divide by 11.
Yes, divide by 11 each side. You cancel this 11 and you get your x. And 22 divided by 11 equals 2. And that's why your option is 2. For this question, you have minus 4x and you have minus 4x here. You can add 4x to each side. So when you add 4x to each side, this negative 4x cancels. Okay? And you get negative 9 equals 7. As you can see, x disappears. And you look at this and you say it's false. What does it mean? This means that the equation has no solution. And that's why here the option is no solution. Find the 3 consecutive odd integers with the sum of 123. So always call your first one x, okay? And make sure you know it's an odd integer. The other two are x plus 2, x plus 4. The second and the third. Remember to go from one odd to another odd. You have here an odd. And the next one that is odd, you have to add 2. If you add 2, you jump from one odd to another odd. Example, in your head, if 1 is odd, the next one is 3. So how much you skip? You skip the 2. Yes? So how much you add to 1 to get 3? You add 2. Okay, and to go to the next one, which is 5, you have always to add 2. And that's how it happens. To go from one odd to another odd, you add 2. And that's why here, what they did, they called one of them x, and the next two are x plus 2, x plus 4. Why plus 4? Because you add 2 to x plus 2. This x plus 2, you add 2 to it. So if you have x plus 2, and you go to the next one, you add 2. If you simplify it, you get x plus 4. Okay, now the sum of all of this is 123. So you put x, which is the first one, plus x plus 2, which is the second one, plus x plus 4, which is the third one, equals 123. Okay, now we have set our equation. We need to solve it. Add x to x to x, you get 3x. Add 2 to 4, you get 6. This is what we call simplifying, collecting like terms, okay? Now we start solving. We have an equation, and all of you know how to solve it. Minus 6 minus 6, and you get 3x equal 117, because 123 minus 6 equals 117. And then divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, 117 divided by 3. You do it, you get 39. So your x is 39. Make sure you don't stop here. Okay? You need to find all the odd numbers after 39, because they ask you to find 3 consecutive odd numbers. So there are 3. The first one is 39. The next one add 2. And the next one add 2. So 39, 41, and 43, and you're done. You can check, by the way, if you are in the exam and they give you multiple choice, and if you're confused and you don't know how to do this, you can actually be smart. Just add this and you get 123, and make sure they are odd. They might trick you, they put 38 and 40 and 42, for example. These are even, so you don't add them, okay? Just take the odd ones and add them. If you get 123, you are correct. And then you save time, okay? And you get the correct option. The next one, solving absolute value equations. As you can see, I just explained the answer here. You have -8, you have to do +8, okay? That's the first thing you have to do. And that's why you get here 12 plus 8, which is exactly 20. The only step I have done here from here to here is just +8 and simplify, okay? Now, don't do what I've seen in some of your answers, not all of you, some of you, they add 5 here. Don't add 5 because you have absolute value. So you cannot start with this. You should get an equation without absolute value. Usually, when you have an absolute value equation, you get 2. One with +20, one with -20, because absolute value of 20 equals 20. And absolute value of -20 also equals 20. And that's why what's inside the absolute value can be 20 and can be -20. Okay. Now we just solve these two equations. Okay, here you have -5, so you have to add 5, and you get 25, and then divide by 10, you get 25 divided by 10, which is 2.5. As fraction, you might get an option 5/2. So it depends on how they give you the option in the exam. They can give it to you as a fraction, they can give it to you as a decimal. Make sure you know that both of them are the same, okay? In the second one, we add 5 to -20, we get -15. And this is your -15. And you divide by 10, each side you get -15/10, which is -1.5. As fraction, you can have -15/10, just simplified by 5, divided by 5, you get -3/2. So make sure in the exam, you look for fraction and you look for decimal. They can be either way. Now, here's another question. In the past 2 years, a retailer has opened 232 stores. This is in 2 years. If the rate of growth remains constant, how many stores will the retailer open in the next 3 years? So you use ratios. This is how you start. You take your 232 over 2 years. So here you have stores, here you have years, okay? Make sure you respect the order, store over years, and you do the same for the second ratio. How many stores will be the retailer open in 3 years? So you put over 3, and you put X, or you put R, or you put whatever variable you like, okay? And that's it. As soon as you put this ratio, you are done. What you need to do, just cross multiply. Remember the cross product, 2 times 232 equals R times 2. We call this the cross product, okay? And now just solve. You can multiply by 3. You can actually, I don't like to multiply. I would like, this is the revision sheet method. I would like you to do it this way. 232 times 3 equals 2R. You divide by 2, okay, before you multiply. So you can cancel this. You get 100, 200 is 100, and 32 is 16, 116. And then you multiply 116 by 3, you get your answer, 348. Now we got percentage. A guitar originally priced at $100 on a sale for 30% off. What is this discounted price? Okay, so you need to calculate 30% of 100. 30% of 100, because they have to take 30% off this 100, which is exactly 30 over 100 of 100. That's how you calculate 30% of 100. 30% is 30 over 100 times 100. Cancel 100, you get 30. Okay, so that's the reduced amount. They reduced $30. So what is the discounted price? Is the original price, which is 100, minus the discount. So 100 minus 30. So it's $70. Very simple problem. Okay, on percentage decrease, this one. Let's go to question 2. You have a pair of jeans that cost $25 and the tax is 5%. You know, when there is a tax, this one is called a percentage increase. So you have to add it because you add tax on the price. Okay. So what is the total cost? So you need to find 5% of your original cost, 5% of 25. You calculate it your way. My best way is to divide 25 and 100. I get 5 over 4, because 4 times 25 is 100. 5 over 4 is 1 1/4, which is 1.25. Okay, and that's why they find 5% of 25 is 1.25. And then they just add it because it's an increase. They add it to 25, the original price. They just add 1.25. And they get the answer, 26.25.